Ladies, thank you to you both for coming in on this Sunday afternoon. Let's begin with the obvious. Why are your members absent from work more? Nomsa, let me start with you.
First, let me say, as a union, we do not condone and we do not support absenteeism. What we are worried about with this report is that it says it just gives these numbers and it doesn't put things into context. It does not say why this is happening, because the department has all the resources to find out why this is happening. We feel it is unfair for the department to come and just give numbers and don't give context to this.
Brenda, do you as NATU share the same view that this report, in the way it's formulated, is rather unfair?
Thank you very much. The issue here, we need not to look at absenteeism at the face value. The report that was done by the school monitoring survey, they were supposed to give us a bigger picture. For instance, they were supposed to say, in this district, we have got this school, and we have got such a number of teachers that are absenting themselves. After that, they were supposed to tell us what is it the department is doing to refrain teachers from absenteeism. The department must bear in mind the other things that causes teachers to absent themselves. One of it, they attend workshops. Secondly, they do attend moderation workshops. They also go for memo discussions. And teachers themselves, my dear, they are members of the family. They are parents. There are things that they are supposed to do. Then if now the minister is saying teachers are absenting themselves without prior giving us as unions to say, your members are absenting themselves from school, what are we going to do?
I want to pick up on the issue of these workshops that you say teachers are sometimes attending. Surely in that sort of situation, it would not be captured as absenteeism because that would have been for a work reason. But secondly, why do these workshops have to happen within school hours?
You know what? When you want to take teachers to do workshops on Saturday, they must be compensated. There's no compensation for that. So it's good for the department to take teachers because during the weekend, teachers have to do their own things. Bearing in mind, on Saturdays, they are supposed to teach again. So if then it's during the school hours, they are supposed to attend AMA workshops so that they can come back and cascade the very same information to the very same learners that they are working with.
No, Mr. Are your members, you know, teachers in South Africa, especially those in public schools, they get a bad reputation, rightly or wrongly. Are you able to say today as SATU that your members, who may be part of this 10% that's absent daily, are away from work for valid reasons and are not just skipping work because they don't want to be in class doing their work?
Teachers, as human beings, we are aware that some may take advantage of the situation. There are one or two people who may be not disciplined, but we believe that the majority have valid reasons for this. It is unfair for the department really to go on numbers and not give reasons. This is unlike the study that was done by the Human Science Research Council on the wellness of teachers in the system, where they did give reasons, you know, as to why teachers were absent. That study done in 2014, it said 66% were not in school because they were on sick leave. 9% were looking after sick relatives. I think 19% were attending funerals or deaths in families.
Allow me to come in there because you're referencing a previous study and even this latest survey that Minister Motshekga released the results of this past week, and it's a 2017 survey. Why is it that in the lessons that we've learned from the report you've just cited and the previous other reports on absenteeism by teachers, there's not been a real outcome or a plan of action on how to tackle that between yourselves, the Basic Education Department, and your fellow union over here?
That's what we are worried about, that the department has come with this report and doesn't say from the previous reports what has the department done to support the teachers? Because that Human Science Research Council said 66% were sick leave. Then the department should have come up with, says, what did they do to support the teachers to make sure that teachers are well so that they can be in class.
Let me put this question to both of you. We'll talk about the education department and hopefully have them in to explain what it is they've done. But for now, I want to know what you as SATU and you, Brenda, as NATU have done to ensure that your members are in class teaching, unless, of course, there is a valid reason for them to not be at work. What have you done?
You know, when I think some years ago, there was this quality learning and teaching campaign that we as teacher, all stakeholders in education, we committed to be part of. That campaign called on teachers to be in class, called on learners to be in class, called on parents to support, called on communities to support their schools. We were part of that, and we made sure that our teachers abide by that. I'm sure my colleague in NATU were also part of the quality learning and teaching campaign. The department is coming up talking about this. It's not even reflecting as to what has happened since the quality and learning teaching campaign. But we are sure that a lot has happened. There's been more commitment. There's even if you live in township and rural areas, you'd see there's more commitment. Teachers and learners are in classes on Saturdays. They are in classes during holidays.
I hear you, Nomusa.
There is more teaching. In fact, really.
Unfortunately, we're running out of time, but I want to get Natu in here because we've not given you as much of a chance to speak. And very quickly, Nomusa paints a picture of unions that are actively involved in trying to keep pupils and staff in the class. But here we are, absenteeism up from 8 to 10% now. Do you agree that there's been a failure in that campaign to keep both parties in class, Brenda?
There's no failure. With NATU, you know what we've done? We are saying to our teachers, we have got two things, our mission. Our mission is to improve the quality of learning and teaching. Therefore, every day our teachers are in class and they are teaching on time. But the only thing that you need to bear in mind with this absenteeism, teachers absent themselves because of workload. They absent themselves because of the unrolling of learners in the school. They absent themselves because of the duty load. The duty load that is given to the classes are overcrowded. They end up being sick. They have to go and see the psychologist. At the end, the teacher is absent from school with a reason. But now we are saying the department was supposed to say, now, because teachers are absenting themselves, this is what we are doing. Let's take, for instance, if teachers are getting sick, what is the problem behind?
I hear you, Brenda. And we're going to have both Satu and Natu back on for a longer conversation, but we are out of time for now. Ladies, my thanks to you both for coming in.